Hello, my lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the newest shows on TLC, stirring up a lot of drama, and that would be Baylen Out Loud.
In a little baby weenie. Tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken. And scene.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Linda, don't you dare make fun of this girl with Tourettes syndrome. She can't help it.
Spotted alone in a safari. An itchy baby weenie.
Let me assure you, there is nothing funny about Tourette's syndrome, ever.
Tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken. Tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken.
It's nothing like what they depict on TV.
Nice day, huh?
Yeah. Shove it up your ass!
Sorry, I'm excited. Fuck off. Fuck off, fuck off.
Baylen has severe Tourette's syndrome, which causes her to twitch or make repetitive noises. This is exacerbated by her OCD.
Slap that wiener, wrap that wiener, tap that wiener.
Baylen lives with her mother, father, 5 brothers and sisters, and her 2 dogs. It's a very loud, loving, and chaotic home.
Every time I see a bald person, I have to tell them that they're bald. You're bald.
Baylen's severe case of Tourette's syndrome brought her family closer together and helped them grow into a strong team.
Tickles. Dingle tickles.
So, yeah. Dingle tickles.
At the age of 7, her parents began to notice unusual movements and sounds that seemed abnormal.
When Baylen was at her worst, it was like something you've never even seen.
It heavily affected her at school, where most kids thought she was annoying. Doctors made her feel subhuman and told her she couldn't drive, she shouldn't be in public, and it wasn't until she was 18 that she finally received a proper diagnosis.
My OCD is worse than my Tourette's. I do everything in threes.
The problem with doing everything in threes is that sometimes the movements can be violent or harmful to others or herself. However, Baylen can't resist the urge to complete the sets of 3.
I don't need anybody else scalded or burned, poked with a knife 3 times, or had sharp instruments thrown.
There is no cure for Tourette's syndrome, and she can only manage her symptoms. One way she does this is through medication, but the medication causes her mental health to deteriorate. So far, the most helpful thing that she has tried is CBT therapy. So today is Baylen's little brother's birthday, and Mom has decided to take Baylen with her to the store because Baylen needs to get used to going out in public and shopping if she ever wants to move out and be on her own. Normally, this is a very high-stress situation, but the family tells us that they've learned to laugh about her condition, laugh with her.
We have to laugh with her. It's a whole vibe. I mean, the laughter keeps us sane.
As soon as Baylen enters the store, she starts ticking. She's making noises, cursing. It's really hard to imagine how difficult this would be for her. Like, imagine she walks in and there's an old woman standing there and she's shooting her looks because she's cursing, or maybe there's a young mother there with her little kid and she's offended that you're cursing.
Cream dick. Test.
Mom tells Baylen that she doesn't have much hope of ever being able to shop alone. Baylen ends up smashing several boxes of pastries and hurting herself. She starts crying in the store. She's so embarrassed. This show is seriously an emotional roller coaster. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you go back and see it for yourself. Baylen is so endearing, but half the internet thinks that she's faking her Tourette's. Before watching this show, I myself had heard that she was on the Dr. Phil program, and when I heard that, I immediately thought about Goose Wayne.
Go and be evaluated and take a look at this.
We would have to work scheduling.
You don't have a job.
I have a dog.
Right.
I'm the only one that could take care of my dog, so.
Dr. Phil has brought on so many people who were just seeking attention or trying to personally troll him. So I was really skeptical at first, but after seeing Baylen's tics, I believe her. Those tics look like they would be so painful. After this disastrous grocery trip, Baylen's boyfriend comes over to take her bowling. This again scares the parents because they don't know what she might do with a bowling ball.
Colin is my medicine. That's the best way I'm going to describe it. He means a lot to me.
Baylen believes that Colin is her soulmate. Not only does he take excellent care of her, but he naturally relaxes her. Her tics don't bother him. In fact, he is more bothered if she tries holding in her tics because he knows it'll make him worse later. They get to the bowling alley and Baylen starts yelling at everyone to F off and telling the guys they're bald. Then she sits down to put on her shoes and her toes are all locked up. Can you imagine how sore your muscles would be after spazzing and clenching and squeezing all day?
My dystonic tics come out when I'm most stressed. It's like paralysis, like it is locked.
This is the worst type of tic that she has. There are times when the muscles will stay clenched for up to 45 minutes. Fortunately, she does get her shoe on and tells the stranger next to her to F off.
Fuck you. Sorry.
As far as future goes, what do you see?
She tells him that before she turns 25, she wants to start having children. Colin ends up telling her that he's being relocated in a few months because he's in the Air Force. Baylen takes the news really bad. They've been inseparable since they got together, and she's grown accustomed to his presence and his support in her life almost on a daily basis. He doesn't know if he'll be moved an hour away from her or into a whole nother country.
I wish that he wasn't in the military sometimes. I love him.
They are so cute together. They're a really good-looking couple. The family ends up going to a very loud restaurant for the little brother's birthday. You can see that everyone is on edge, and it only gets worse when Colin calls her to tell her he has news he needs to tell her in person and refuses to give her any more details. 2 entire days later, he meets up with her at the gym to tell her that he doesn't know where he's going yet, but he's gonna be in training, which means that for the entire time he's there, they won't be able to see each other.
Sir, yes, sir, drop and fuck off.
He tells her that the only way they'll be able to see each other is if she comes to him, which is a terrifying notion. She doesn't even like being in a grocery store, let alone an airport.
I will have a tic attack right there in the airport, and everyone will watch. I don't know.
So, she's now an emotional wreck, but it's okay because she has some exciting news. While proving to her parents that she can cut chicken with plastic knives, she informs them that she has been invited as a guest speaker at TouretteCon.
TicCon is specifically for the people with Tourette's.
TouretteCon or TicCon, I don't know. This is a very exciting opportunity for Baylen to share her story and give hope to others who might be suffering with the same condition. But it brings up the issue of travel, which makes everyone nervous.
She was essentially incapacitated.
I mean, laying on the dirty airport floor.
So the family is very nervous about this, but when she tells Colin, he's excited for her. One of the things she was afraid of was picking up on other people's tics, but he tells her that she doesn't know who or when or what is going to start a new tic. So why not just experience all that you can and enjoy your life?
Bigger step for her and her independence because she's doing something that she's not necessarily comfortable with.
Mom ends up joining her on her trip to TicCon. Walking through the airport was easy breezy.
Oh, good God.
I have a gun. I have a gun.
At TicCon, it's pretty obvious that of everyone on the panel, Baylen definitely has the worst case. When it finally gets time for her to speak, she can barely get a word out. It looks so painful watching her locking up like that. She finally puts the mic down so she can let the tics just run their course, and then she finally speaks.
I was followed around a store and I was videotaped from a girl.
Baylen's online journey began when a cruel girl uploaded a video of her in a grocery store. Baylen was having a tic attack in the middle of the store. It was uploaded online, which resulted in Baylen deciding to hide herself away from the world and becoming a hermit, essentially. Her parents got her into therapy 4 days a week, and she found healing.
I thought that my Tourette's made me ugly.
She decided she was going to put her condition on display so that others who are suffering with the same issues might have some hope.
We're one community and we have each other, and fuck you.
Even though it started out really rough, by the time the panel was over, Mom was super proud of her. Baylen said some really powerful and encouraging things.
I have never felt more welcome, comfortable, and at peace.
You guys, I'm so falling in love with this girl. This is so cute and wholesome. So after the event, she's in her room and calls Colin. She tells him that she's in a lot of pain from all of the tics that she had that day.
It's like going to the gym and working out the same thing all day.
Before she leaves TicCon, she meets up with a therapist, and her and Mom are both hoping for answers. The doctor explains that her brain is like having a car that has 4 different people in it. So for Baylen has Tourette's, ADHD, OCD, and then what was it? Anxiety, I think, was the other one. And the therapist says one day it might be anxiety who's driving the car. The next day it might be ADHD who's driving the car. And so every day is going to look a little bit different for you.
I've never disliked anyone in my entire life other than myself.
She says, I know that God loves me and thinks that I'm perfect, but I don't see that in me. I wish I could love myself how God does. And I was like, wow, that so hit home for me. Could anyone else relate to this? You know, as someone who believes in God, and I believe that he really does love me more than anything or anyone on this earth, but I just feel like I'm so screwed up. I'm so messed up. Like, why? Just feeling so worthless. And like, what's the point of anything?
They're highly sensitive, they're highly perceptive, and they're highly intelligent. And that's actually backed up by science.
She continues telling Baylen her treatment options, which aren't very comforting. She's already tried therapy and medication. The next option would be brain surgery.
It interrupts the whole tic-touretic process. Lots of side effects related to that.
It sounds like another version of a lobotomy, in my opinion. She said a lot of side effects are associated with it. No, thank you. Are you going to go back and undo it if there's a problem? How are you going to do that? It's a new day. Baylen is going out with her new friends she met at the convention.
Shut the fuck up.
While Baylen is playing with her new friends, the mommies are out getting wasted. As Mom left the restaurant, she could hear Baylen screaming.
Okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay. She's going to get it.
This was absolutely heartbreaking. Baylen is scared she's gonna smash her skull into the tile. Mom is desperately trying to help her relax and let her know, I'm right here. I'm not gonna let you hurt yourself.
I'm sorry. No, you're fine, honey. Don't worry about me. I need ice. You are totally fine.
It killed me when she said, I'm sorry to her mom. I was in tears. I was crying when I watched it for the first time. Then the more Mom tells us this is the worst tic attack she's ever seen her have, and she's scared. She doesn't know how to help her daughter in this situation. Mom and Baylen finally head back home. The entire family and boyfriend all spend the day at the creek fishing and swimming. Mom and Dad discuss what happened and how will she ever be able to live alone? And will her boyfriend ever speak without vocal fry?
And it was an emotional conversation for the both of us.
Colin is expressing all his concerns about her being anywhere alone. If Mom hadn't been there, she likely would have hurt herself really bad. She tells him it's because of all her overexertion and stimulation, but now he's looking a lot less comfortable with her moving out.
I love Washington, D.C., and it's the closest city to my parents now.
So who is paying for her to live in Washington, D.C., one of the most expensive places to live, and she's 21? What is a 21-year-old doing in D.C.?
There's vaginas hanging from the White House.
Now I understand. He tells her that his roommate had to leave because he was also relocated, so maybe she should just move in with him. He wants her to move in with him so he can keep his eye on her.
How do you think your parents are gonna react about us?
Colin tells us that his parents are extremely religious and conservative. They stand firm in their beliefs and don't think it's okay to be living together before marriage. He tells her he already knows they're not going to support the decision, but he wants to bring it up to both sets of parents anyway, which she wastes no time doing.
Me and Colin are gonna move in with each other.
Mom and Dad are absolutely dumbstruck. They don't know what to say, so they tell her they're going to think about it a little bit. They don't know what Colin's parents are going to say yet. Mom doesn't even think Colin can handle taking care of her. Then we head over to Colin's house to meet his parents, who I also don't like. I thought I was going to because the dad was like, I love my God, I love my wife, and I love my children in that order. And I was like, yeah, priorities. But he has a really stinky attitude.
Penis. Fuck.
The parents both look like they have a stick up their butts. Then Mom tells us that Colin made it sound horrible. So when they first met her, they were actually relieved and said it wasn't that bad and they like her.
They're still trying to learn when they should laugh. Is it okay to laugh? Because we don't come around so often.
Mom starts reading the Bible, and sure enough, Baylen's tics start ramping up because they know they're about to drop this bomb of sin onto his parents' lap.
It's like a tsunami of thoughts going through my head as I'm sitting on the couch.
Before either one of them has a chance to bring up moving in together, Mom says they're heading to bed. Colin tells her that he could tell she was restraining her tics and he doesn't like it almost as much as I don't like his vocal fry.
We talked in the car about you suppressing your tics. Do you feel like you did that?
The next day, his family gathers together for a picnic. The way he talks is really starting to upset me. Sounds like he has a mouthful of marbles at any given time.
We need to tell my parents this big news about wanting to move in together. Are you ready?
I'm so stoked, bro. Then she starts holding this little baby, and I'm like, Who thought this was a good idea? If you don't trust her cooking, if she can't even hold a knife, she probably shouldn't hold a baby. But that's just my Jamaican opinion, man.
The same way I am with Fluffy and Tootsie, it's the same way that baby Lily made me feel. At peace.
Well, I don't. My anxiety is through the roof. Please stop it. Colin tells us that since the family is going to be together all day, he's going to wait until the end of the day to tell them. He also says that even though he is still religious, his views have evolved. And basically, he doesn't care what his parents or the Bible says. He's an adult making his own decisions.
I feel confident in making adult choices.
Goliath felt a little bit confident before David killed him with a rock. Big idiot.
We're in the process of trying to move.
Oh, so who's we?
Oh, whoops. She wasn't supposed to say that, but it's too late, and we don't know what happens till the next episode. I love you guys, and I love Baylen too. Sometimes her tics are a little bit annoying, but I think she's an absolute sweetheart, and I would imagine that it's probably a lot more annoying for her than for any of us. Thank you all for watching till the end, and for those of you who dropped me some super chats in my last video, I love you. And before I go, has anyone been feeling sick for like 3 months? It seems like me and everyone I know has been sick and they can't kick it. Like just when they feel like they're starting to get better, they just relapse and it comes right back. It's crazy to me. Seriously, like everybody I know has been sick and they can't get rid of it. Anyone else? Hello, my beautiful family. That sounds so Irish. Okay, wait. Hey, man. Hey, man.
How to know if a girl likes you? A question every man asks themselves or asks someone around them. Continue watching to know more.
Keep watching to know more. Do they like you? Do African men like you?
Linda has the most incredible YouTube channel. Who doesn't love her, huh? Adonis, do you know that? Linda has the most unique, most fun, YouTube channel. All of us love it. Because I love to listen to something when I'm sleeping. Always headphones. She kind of tells me something and I'm not listening to her at night. And get to the chopper.